The tumult of the English Civil War forced Edward and me to leave behind everything we knew. As Clara Farnsworth, I had lived a life of relative peace until the conflict disrupted our world. My husband, Edward, a staunch royalist supporter, was marked for persecution, and so we fled, seeking safety wherever it could be found. The journey took us to Ireland, where Lady Maureen Doyle, an old friend and ally in our cause, offered us refuge in her fortified home, Doyle Castle. Doyle Castle, with its stone walls and ancient towers, stood like a guardian against the chaos outside. It was a place steeped in history, surrounded by rolling mists that clung to its battlements like specters. The fog was a constant companion, a shroud that both concealed and revealed the secrets of the land. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of old wood and the flickering light of candles, casting shadows that seemed to dance with stories of their own. The legend of the Banshee was well known in these parts, whispered by the servants and echoed in the tales of the villagers. They spoke of a ghostly woman with fiery red hair, her cries a mournful lament that heralded death. I had always dismissed such stories as mere folklore, tales to frighten children on dark nights. Yet the atmosphere of Doyle Castle, with its haunted air and the ever-present mist, seemed to breathe life into these tales. It was here, in this ancient stronghold, that I first heard the Banshee's cries. It was a night like any other, the castle silence save for the crackling of the hearth. I lay awake, unable to find rest amid the worry that clouded my mind. Suddenly, a sound pierced the stillness, a wailing, high and keening, that sent chills down my spine. The cry was unlike anything I had ever heard, filled with sorrow and an unearthly resonance that seemed to echo through my very soul. I rose from my bed, heart pounding, and hurried through the dimly lit corridors to find Edward. He was in the library, bent over a map of England, his brow furrowed with concentration. The cries followed me, a haunting refrain that seemed to wrap around me like a cold embrace. I could see the doubt in Edward's eyes as I described what I had heard, but the fear in my voice could not be denied. We both knew the tales, yet Edward dismissed it as a trick of the wind, a sound carried on the fog from the nearby village. The following morning, the castle was abuzz with news. Lady Maureen's cousin had died during the night, struck down in the chaos of battle. The realization hit me like a blow. The Banshee's cries had been a warning, a portent of the death that had come to pass. The folklore was not mere superstition. It was a chilling truth that defied logic and reason. I felt a chill settle over me, a shadow of dread that would not easily be shaken. I found myself in a state of deep internal conflict, my mind torn between the rational world I had always known and the supernatural reality that now confronted me. The Banshee's wail had shaken the foundation of my beliefs, leaving me adrift in a sea of doubt. How could I reconcile the unexplainable with the world of reason and logic? I longed for answers, but the path forward was shrouded in mystery, much like the mist that enveloped the castle. Edward was sympathetic, yet skeptical, his rational mind seeking explanations where there were none. He comforted me as best he could, reassuring me that we were safe within the walls of Doyle Castle. Yet the seed of doubt had been planted, and it grew with each whispered tale of the Banshee's power and presence. I became more introspective, questioning not only the world around me, but also my own understanding of life and death. As the days passed, I pondered the connection between the Banshee's cries and the inevitable hand of fate. Was she merely a messenger, or was there something more to her role in the unfolding drama of our lives? Her presence loomed large in my thoughts, a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lay beyond human comprehension. I resolved to learn more, to seek out the truth hidden within the stories of those who had come before me. Perhaps in understanding the Banshee, I could find a way to make peace with the specters of fear and doubt that haunted my mind. Life at Doyle Castle became a delicate balance of hope and dread as the war outside continued to rage on. Our sanctuary was both a refuge and a prison, filled with the constant worry of what lay beyond the stone walls. Inside, Lady Maureen Doyle worked tirelessly to maintain a semblance of normalcy, her strength and resolve an inspiration to us all. The castle's atmosphere was one of hushed whispers and tense anticipation, with every knock at the door potentially bringing news from the front. Lady Maureen was more than just our hostess. She was a formidable ally in our cause, using her connections to support the royalist effort. Her knowledge of the political landscape was vast, and she navigated the complexities of allegiance with a deftness that was nothing short of remarkable. We often found ourselves gathered in the Grand Hall, discussing the latest developments and strategizing on how best to aid our fellow royalists. Edward was restless, eager to return to England and join the fight. His loyalty to the crown was unwavering, yet the risk of capture was ever present. He spent long hours in the library, poring over maps and dispatches, his mind constantly turning over strategies and contingencies. I admired his determination, even as I feared for his safety. The war had changed him, deepening the lines of worry on his face and adding a steely resolve to his demeanor. Lady Maureen, despite the danger, was a gracious host. Her kindness and warmth were a balm to my troubled soul, and her steadfast support of Edward's cause provided us both with a sense of purpose amid the uncertainty. She was a woman of formidable intelligence and resourcefulness, her strength drawn from a deep well of conviction. In her presence, I found a kindred spirit, someone who understood the burdens of duty and the weight of responsibility. It was during one of our late-night discussions that I confided in Lady Maureen about the Banshee. Her reaction surprised me. Rather than dismissing my fears, she nodded in understanding. "The Banshee is as much a part of our land as the mist and the mountains," she said softly. "Her cries are a warning, yes, but they are also a call to action. We must heed her message and prepare for what lies ahead." Her words resonated with me, offering a new perspective on the spectral figure that haunted my thoughts. The Banshee was not merely a harbinger of doom, but a symbol of the struggle between life and death, a reminder of the stakes involved in the fight for our future. I felt a renewed sense of resolve, a determination to face whatever lay ahead with courage and conviction. The days passed slowly, each one marked by the arrival of news from the front. We heard of battles won and lost, of friends and allies who had fallen in the fight. The weight of loss was heavy, yet it strengthened our resolve to continue. Edward's letters from fellow royalists were filled with tales of valor and sacrifice, their words a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who fought for the crown. Then came the day we had all feared. A messenger arrived at Doyle Castle, his face grave and his message grim. Lady Maureen's cousin had been killed in battle, struck down while leading his men into the fray. The loss was a heavy blow, casting a pall of mourning over the castle. As we gathered to pay our respects, the reality of the war's toll hit home with a force that left us reeling. I found myself reflecting on the Banshee's cries, their mournful wail echoing in my mind as I stood at Lady Maureen's side. Her strength in the face of such loss was humbling, her resolve unbroken despite the sorrow that hung in the air. Together, we mourned not only her cousin, but all those who had given their lives for the cause. The Banshee's warning had been heeded, her message clear, a reminder that the fight was far from over, and that the cost of victory was steep. As the sun set over the castle, casting long shadows across the ancient stones, I stood on the battlements and gazed out at the mist-covered landscape. The war had changed us all, leaving its mark in ways both seen and unseen. Yet amid the darkness, there was also a glimmer of hope, a belief that, even in the face of death, we could find the strength to endure and the courage to continue fighting for what we believed in. The legend of the Banshee haunted me still, echoing through the corridors of my mind with a persistence I could not shake. Her cries, mournful and chilling, had heralded death within our walls and left a lasting impression on my heart. As life at Doyle Castle continued amid the chaos of war, I became increasingly captivated by the stories of those who had also encountered her spectral presence. I learned that the Banshee was more than just a legend whispered among the Irish. She was a figure deeply rooted in their folklore, a messenger of death who transcended time and place. Her presence was said to forewarn of impending tragedy, her cries a lamentation that pierced the veil between the living and the dead. The tales spoke of a ghostly woman with fiery red hair, her form ethereal and shrouded in mist, as if she were part of the very landscape she haunted. The stories were both fascinating and terrifying. They wove a tapestry of history and myth, blending the known and the unknown in a way that defied explanation. Each account I heard added another layer to the mystery of the Banshee, painting a portrait of a spirit who was both feared and revered. Her cries were a call to arms, a reminder of the inevitability of death and the importance of living with honor and courage. One tale that particularly captured my imagination was that of James MacGregor, an elderly general whose distinguished military career was overshadowed by the Banshee's presence. It was said that her cries had foretold his death, witnessed by none other than Sir Colin MacDonald, a respected Irish lawyer and politician. Sir Colin was a man of logic and reason, yet even he could not deny the reality of what he had seen and heard. His account of the Banshee's warning was a chilling testament to her power and influence. Sir Colin's struggle to reconcile the supernatural encounter with his rational beliefs resonated with me deeply. Like him, I was a woman of reason, raised to question and seek understanding. Yet the Banshee's cries defied logic, challenging the very foundation of what I had always known to be true. Her presence was a reminder that there were forces in the world beyond our comprehension, mysteries that could not be explained by reason alone. As I delved deeper into the lore, I began to see the Banshee not just as a harbinger of doom, but as a complex figure whose role extended beyond mere warnings of death. She was a symbol of justice, a force that held the guilty accountable for their actions. Her cries were a call to conscience, a demand for truth and retribution that echoed through the ages. This duality of the Banshee's nature fascinated me. She was both a warning and a punishment, her presence a reminder of the moral responsibilities that came with power and choice. In a world torn apart by war and strife, her legend offered a glimmer of hope, a belief that justice would prevail, even in the darkest of times. As I pondered these tales, I found myself drawn to the Banshee's role in human affairs. Her influence stretched across cultures and eras, her cries a testament to the enduring power of folklore. She was a spirit who transcended the boundaries of time and place, her warnings as relevant today as they were centuries ago. The stories of the Banshee and her influence were a reminder of the interconnectedness of life and death, of the thin line that separated the two. She was a figure who challenged our understanding of the world, her presence a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lay beyond our comprehension. In her cries, I heard not only a warning of what was to come, but a call to action, a challenge to live with honor, courage, and integrity, even in the face of the unknown. The Banshee's cries were not confined to the emerald shores of Ireland. As tales of her presence spread, they crossed the ocean to America, echoing through the tumultuous times of the American Revolution. Her legend persisted, whispering through the forests and along the rivers, a haunting reminder of the ties that bound the old world to the new. The spirit's wails, mournful and chilling, found a new resonance amid the struggles of a land forging its own destiny. In North Carolina, along the banks of the Tar River, the Banshee appeared once more. The river was a lifeline for the community, its waters flowing through the heart of the land and the lives of those who depended on it. It was here that the tragic tale of Patrick O'Connell unfolded, a story that would cement the Banshee's presence in the annals of American lore. Patrick O'Connell was an Irish miller and patriot whose life was dedicated to the cause of independence. He was a man of principle and conviction, his heart set on the ideals of freedom and justice. Yet his steadfast beliefs made him a target, and one fateful night, his life was cut short by British soldiers. His murder was a brutal act of violence, a dark stain on the conscience of those who committed it. The soldiers, driven by orders and blinded by their own sense of duty, were not prepared for the retribution that would follow. In the days that followed Patrick's death, the Banshee made her presence known, her cries echoing through the night air with a relentless ferocity. Her wails were a constant reminder of the blood that had been spilled, a haunting refrain that tormented the soldiers' dreams and waking hours alike. The Banshee's cries became a harbinger of justice, a force that demanded accountability for the wrongs committed. The soldiers found no peace, their guilt magnified by the spirit's relentless pursuit. They were caught in a web of their own making, the Banshee's presence a punishment that transcended human understanding. Her cries followed them, a spectral reminder of their sins that left them desperate for absolution. It was only when the soldiers confessed to their crime, laying bare their guilt for all to see, that the Banshee's cries ceased. Their confession was an act of contrition, a step toward redemption that offered a measure of peace. The haunting ended with their retribution, a resolution that underscored the Banshee's role as both a harbinger and an enforcer of justice. The story of Patrick O'Connell and his murderers was a testament to the Banshee's enduring influence. She was not merely a spirit of death, but a symbol of the moral order that underpinned the fabric of society. Her presence was a reminder that justice, though sometimes elusive, was an inescapable force that demanded acknowledgement and respect. In the New World, the Banshee's cries resonated with a different kind of power. They were a call to action, a reminder that the fight for freedom and justice was not limited to the battlefield. Her presence in America was a testament to the enduring power of legend, a reflection of the universal struggle for what was right and just. As I pondered these tales, I found myself reflecting on the Banshee's role in human affairs. Her influence transcended boundaries, her cries a testament to the interconnectedness of life and death. She was a spirit whose presence defied explanation, her warnings as relevant in the New World as they were in the Old. In her cries, I heard a universal call to justice, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, there was always hope for redemption and change. The legend of the Banshee, rooted in the ancient hills of Ireland, found fertile ground in the vast landscapes of America. Her cries resonated through the forests and towns, transcending borders and cultures, becoming part of the New World's folklore. The haunting presence of the Banshee in America continued to echo across time, her influence enduring even into the 19th century, as stories of her appearances were passed down through generations. Martown, West Virginia, was a small town with a burgeoning community of Scottish immigrants. It was a place where the old world met the new, where traditions and stories from across the ocean mingled with those born of the American experience. It was here that the Banshee made her presence felt once more, her cries reverberating through the hills, as if carried on the wind from some distant land. Daniel Ward, the founder of Martown, was a man of vision and determination. He had carved a life for himself and his family in this new land, building a community that reflected the values of hard work and perseverance. Yet, despite his success, Daniel was not immune to the mysteries that surrounded him. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the fields, Daniel heard the haunting cries of the Banshee. The sound was unmistakable, a keening wail that sent shivers down his spine. It was a call that transcended time and place, a reminder of the fragility of life and the inevitability of death. As the cries echoed through the town, Daniel was filled with a sense of foreboding, an unease that lingered long after the cries had faded into the night. His wife, Elizabeth Ward, heard the Banshee's wailing as well, her heart heavy with a dread she could not explain. The town, too, was abuzz with rumors and whispers, the presence of the Banshee stirring memories of old stories and half-forgotten legends. Some dismissed the cries as mere superstition, while others saw them as a warning, a harbinger of doom that could not be ignored. The tension between folklore and reality was palpable, a divide that ran through the heart of the community. For those who believed, the Banshee's cries were a call to action, a reminder of the need to live with integrity and courage. For others, they were a mystery to be dismissed, a ghostly tale that held no sway in a world of reason and progress. Daniel Ward's encounter with the Banshee challenged the town's beliefs, forcing them to confront the possibility of the supernatural in their midst. His mysterious death, shrouded in unanswered questions, only added to the enigma. The Banshee's presence cast a long shadow over Martown, her cries a haunting reminder of the thin veil that separated the living from the dead. In the wake of Daniel's passing, the town was left to grapple with the implications of the Banshee's visit. Her cries had opened old wounds, forcing a reckoning with the past and the choices that had brought them to this moment. The legend of the Banshee, intertwined with the story of Martown, became a testament to the enduring power of folklore and the mysteries that lay beyond human understanding. As I reflected on these tales, I found myself drawn to the Banshee's role in shaping human affairs. Her presence was a catalyst for change, a reminder that the boundaries between life and death were not as clear-cut as we might wish to believe. She was a spirit who transcended the confines of time and place, her influence reaching across oceans and centuries to touch the lives of those who encountered her. The Banshee's legacy in Martown was a reflection of the complexities of life and the inevitability of death. Her cries were a haunting echo that resonated through the ages, a reminder of the enduring power of legend and the supernatural. In her presence, I saw a connection between the past and the present, a thread that linked the stories of those who had come before with the lives of those who would follow. Her influence, timeless and profound, was a testament to the mysteries that lay beyond our understanding, a challenge to explore the boundaries of what we know and what lies beyond. The Banshee's cries, haunting and eternal, reached into the very depths of the human soul, stirring emotions that were both terrifying and transformative. Her wails were more than just a warning of death. They were a psychological force that unsettled the mind and spirit. For those who heard her cries, the experience was a profound confrontation with the unknown, a reminder of the frailty of life and the inexorable passage of time. The impact of the Banshee's cries on the human psyche was profound. It was as if she tapped into the deepest fears that lay dormant within us, awakening a primal terror that defied logic and reason. Those who heard her were left questioning their own sanity, grappling with the realization that there were forces beyond human comprehension that shaped the world around them. Her presence was a catalyst for introspection, forcing each person to confront the truths they held dear. The psychological horror of the Banshee's cries was not easily dismissed. Her wails resonated through the mind, creating a pervasive sense of dread that lingered long after the sound had faded. This fear was not merely of death itself, but of the unknown that lay beyond, the mysteries that could not be explained by the rational mind. The Banshee's cries were a challenge to the very foundation of human understanding, a call to acknowledge the limitations of our knowledge and embrace the mysteries that lay beyond. Those who encountered the Banshee often found themselves at a crossroads, forced to choose between belief and skepticism. For some, her cries were a call to action, a reminder of the moral responsibilities that accompanied life and the choices that shaped destiny. For others, they were a puzzle to be solved, a mystery to be dissected and understood. Yet, no matter how they were perceived, the Banshee's cries left an indelible mark on those who heard them, a testament to the enduring power of the supernatural. Central to the Banshee's legend were the themes of guilt and justice, woven through the fabric of her tales like a thread that bound them together. Her presence was a reminder that the choices we make have consequences, and that justice, though sometimes elusive, is a force that cannot be denied. The stories of those who were haunted by the Banshee were tales of reckoning and redemption, of individuals who were forced to confront their own actions and seek atonement for their sins. The Banshee was not merely a harbinger of death. She was a force of justice, holding the guilty accountable for their actions. Her cries were a call to conscience, demanding retribution for wrongs committed and urging the guilty to make amends. This dual role of the Banshee as both a warning and a punishment added depth to her legend, elevating her from a mere specter of death to a symbol of the moral order that underpins society. In reflecting on these themes, I found myself pondering the Banshee's influence on human affairs. Her presence was a testament to the complexities of life and the interconnectedness of all things. She was a spirit who transcended boundaries, her cries a reminder of the moral fabric that wove through the tapestry of human existence. Her role in the stories of those she haunted was a reflection of the enduring struggle between right and wrong, between justice and injustice. The Banshee's influence was felt across cultures and eras, a reflection of the universal nature of her message. Her cries resonated through the ages, a haunting reminder of the thin line between life and death, and the mysteries that lay beyond. She was a figure who challenged the boundaries of reality, her presence a testament to the enduring power of legend and the supernatural. As I contemplated the Banshee's legacy, I realized that her cries were more than just a harbinger of doom. They were a call to action, a challenge to live with integrity and courage in the face of the unknown. Her presence was a reminder that life, though fleeting, was filled with moments of profound meaning and significance. In her cries, I heard not only a warning of what was to come, but a call to embrace the mysteries of life and death, to live fully and fearlessly in a world that was both wondrous and terrifying. The legacy of the Banshee, that mournful specter whose cries echoed through the ages, lingered in my thoughts as I reflected on her enduring influence across continents and centuries. Her presence, both terrifying and fascinating, served as a bridge between the living and the dead, between the past and the present. Her legend, deeply rooted in folklore, was a testament to the human desire to understand the mysteries that lay beyond the veil of life. As I pondered her role in the lives of those who had encountered her, I saw the Banshee as more than just a harbinger of death. She was a symbol of the interconnectedness of life, death, and the supernatural, a figure who transcended the boundaries of reality and legend. Her cries were a reminder of the fragile nature of existence and the inevitability of our own mortality, a haunting echo that resonated through the ages. The Banshee's presence was a testament to the enduring power of folklore, a reflection of the human need to find meaning in the face of the unknown. Her legend was a tapestry of stories that wove together the threads of history, culture, and belief, creating a rich narrative that transcended time and place. Her cries were a universal call to justice, a reminder that the choices we make have consequences, and that justice, though sometimes elusive, is a force that cannot be denied. In contemplating the Banshee's legacy, I found myself drawn to the themes of guilt and redemption that were woven through her tales. Her presence was a catalyst for change, a force that demanded accountability and urged those she haunted to make amends for their wrongs. Her cries were a call to conscience, a reminder of the moral responsibilities that accompanied life and the choices that shaped destiny. The Banshee's influence on human affairs was profound, her presence a reminder of the complexities of life and the inevitability of death. She was a spirit who transcended boundaries, her cries a testament to the enduring power of legend and the supernatural. Her role in the stories of those she haunted was a reflection of the enduring struggle between right and wrong, between justice and injustice. As I reflected on the Banshee's legacy, I realized that her cries were more than just a warning of death. They were a call to action, a challenge to live with integrity and courage in the face of the unknown. Her presence was a reminder that life, though fleeting, was filled with moments of profound meaning and significance. In her cries, I heard not only a warning of what was to come, but a call to embrace the mysteries of life and death, to live fully and fearlessly in a world that was both wondrous and terrifying. The Banshee's legacy in Martown, West Virginia, and beyond was a reflection of the complexities of life and the inevitability of death. Her cries were a haunting echo that resonated through the ages, a reminder of the enduring power of legend and the supernatural. In her presence, I saw a connection between the past and the present, a thread that linked the stories of those who had come before with the lives of those who would follow. In the end, the Banshee's legacy was a testament to the interconnectedness of life, death, and the supernatural, a reminder of the thin line between the known and the unknown. Her presence was a haunting presence that lingered long after her cries had faded, a reflection of the enduring power of legend and the mysteries that lay beyond our understanding. As I concluded my reflections, I realized that the Banshee's cries were a call to embrace the mysteries of life and death, to live with courage and integrity in the face of the unknown. Her legacy was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, there was always hope for redemption and change. In her cries, I heard not only a warning of what was to come, but a challenge to live fully and fearlessly in a world that was both wondrous and terrifying.